Chapter 34, the number 9. The ninth path is the pure intelligence, so called because it purifies the numerations, it proves and corrects the designing of their representation, and disposes their unity with which they are combined without diminution or division. Seper Yetzirah, 29. Number 9 is primarily the number of initiation. As we have previously pointed out, it is that most mysterious number which never changes. No matter how multiplied or added, the sum of the resulting digits will always equal 9, i.e., 9 plus 9 equals 18 equals 9, or 9x 9 equals 81 equals 9, etc. And it all numbers are swallowed up to emerge once more in a new cycle, 10. In this sense, it has the same symbology as the serpent swallowing its own tail, namely, the ending of a cycle. It is Cronus or Saturn devouring his children. Thus it is truly the number of initiation. For while there is a minor initiation at each step in the soul life, no matter how you have multiplied sensation, experience, knowledge, or attainment, you cannot pass your great initiation until you have returned to that from which you started, just as all multiples of 9 return to 9. As number 9 is the square of the first odd number or trinity, 3, it represents deity descending into humanity and evolving through man until squared, or until through initiation man has manifested the divine in each of the 3 worlds. Number 9 is also the number of initiation because it is a trinity of trinities, God, man, and nature, man, woman, and the magnetic link between them, love, truth, and understanding, each trinity of which, no matter how we deny or try to escape it, brings us face to face with deity, 3, and the 3 worlds, and ultimately completes our great initiation. The ninth Sapphira completes the third trinity, or the trinity of trinities. It is called in the Kabbalah El Chai, the mighty living one, also Shaddai, the foundation or basis, because only as this third trinity is unfolded and made the base for the other 2, is the disciple ready to pass his great initiation. It is here that the mystic rose may be said to bloom in his heart. This rose is represented in a conventionalized form with 9 petals on the outer edge, 6 on the next row, and 3 around the center. Its angelic name is the flames. Every step by which we evolve from one number to the next is a minor initiation, but after each 3 such minor steps there is a major initiation which when passed admits us into a new cycle, 10, and realm of consciousness. At each minor initiation we must face our personality, but at each major initiation we must face our own soul or deity, 3. These 3 major initiations, which complete the great initiation of number 9, are represented mathematically thus: 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 10. The cycle of nature or physical conditions, whose symbol is the staff. 10 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 equals 28 equals 10. The cycle of man or the Christ force, whose symbol is the robe. 28 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 equals 55 equals 10. The cycle of Superman or the higher self, whose symbol is a lighted candle or lamp of Hermes. The staff is the staff of the patriarchs, by the use of which we tread the narrow way of initiation leading to the heaven world. The robe is the robe of the Christ or the mantle of nature. When clothed in it we are one with all manifested life. The lamp of Hermes is the light of wisdom which lights the way of the Superman. Number 9 is that of divine reflections. It expresses the divine idea in all its abstract power, but it also signifies extravagance in belief, and hence superstition and idolatry. For this reason Hermes has made it the number of initiation, because the initiate reigns over superstition and by superstition and alone can advance through the darkness, leaning upon his staff, enveloped in his mantle, and lighted by his lamp. The lamp of Trismegistus enlightens past, present, and future, lays bare the conscience of men, and manifests the inmost recesses of the female heart. The lamp burns with a triple flame, the mantle is thrice folded, and the staff is divided into 3 parts. Again, the 3 times 3 is equal to 9. As we have already said, in 9 we find again the cipher with which we started, but with a straight line, the evolution of the lower O of the 8 completed and straightened out, descending from it. Later, when the initiation is completed, this line will take its place to the right of the cipher, making 10, thus completing the cycle and making man more than man. According to Philippus Levi, initiation is a preservative against the false lights of mysticism. It equips human reason with its relative value and proportional infallibility, connecting it with supreme reason by a chain of analogies. Hence the initiate knows no doubtful hopes, no absurd fears, because he has no irrational beliefs. He is acquainted with the extent of his power, and he can dare without danger. With him, therefore, to dare is to be able. He knows, he dares, and is silent. The initiates are the sons of God, and in the world of men hold the same relation as the stars do to the cosmos. While number 9 has always been considered the number of mystery, it is said to embody the power of silence, or that sacred hush in which all activity is swallowed up in the initiation of new life, the darkness just before the dawn. The magnetic thrill as the sun sinks below the horizon, the hush before a storm, the pause at the turn of the tide. Apollonius of Tyana, the Greek Neoplatonic philosopher, was an initiate and hence fully understood the significance and importance of this number. He instructed his disciples specifically concerning it. He required strict observance of the 9th hour as a time for silence. He also forbade his followers to mention number 9 aloud. This number, says Apollonius, must be passed over in silence, because it contains the great secrets of the initiate, the power which fructifies the earth. The mysteries of secret fire, the universal key of languages, the second sight from which evildoers cannot remain concealed. When number 9 was met with in their calculations, it was therefore passed over in silence, and a deep obeisance was made as a recognition of its sacred character. This, of course, was but a ceremony intended to impress upon the minds of the neophytes the great importance of initiation, its sacredness, and the folly and danger of even speaking lightly concerning its mysteries. We quite agree with this teaching, for the mystic 9th hour, both as a period of the day and as a period of the soul's evolution, is a cycle of most sacred and mysterious import. At high noon, all the forces of life are focused on the physical plane, hence great activity is going on in the physical body. This is therefore the best time to eat a hearty meal, for just as the sun has its greatest power in nature at high noon, so is it in man's body. Noon is also the best time to send out our spiritual blessing to the world, upon the physical plane, since it is the time of greatest activity and impressionability. From noon until 3 p.m., or during the 9th hour, should be a time of quiet rest and digestion, both of the physical food taken at noon and also of the spiritual forces impressed on the physical body in the noon meditation and prayer service. In response to this need, the Order of Christian Mystics has established a noonday silence and healing service which is open to all, and with which all are urged to unite. 5. In this service, just as the clock strikes 12, strive to enter the great temple of silence, don the seamless robe of the Christ, and become one with your brothers and sisters throughout the world. As it is noon in some part of the world all the time, and as our pupils in all parts of the world are sending their love and force to the center of the order as the clock strikes 12, it makes a continual stream of force sweeping around the globe every moment of the day and night. Their love adds a touch of human sympathy and comfort to the great currents of spiritual force which are poured into humanity from the higher realms through this order and which sweep westward around the globe from this center, carrying light and love, health and prosperity to all who are in need, burning up the chaff and unfolding the blossoms of love and unselfishness in the hearts and lives of each one who correlates with them. All that is necessary to partake of this stream of spiritual force and love is mentally to unite yourself with a band of devoted brothers and sisters who are joined hand in hand and heart to heart in an endless chain, which reaches around the globe, for the purpose of rendering unselfish service for the Christ to humanity. And as you give of your force for the good of all, to that extent do you partake of the power and force of all. Each student should set aside at least 10 minutes during the day for silent meditation upon the divine, and should faithfully keep this tryst with his or her higher self. If possible, make this time at noon. If this is not possible, at least send your thoughts of love and helpfulness to this center at that time and contribute the force of your love and devotion to the upliftment of all. This is an exercise in practical occultism which has far-reaching effects. At the conclusion of the silence period, we mention the names of all who have sought the help of the order, and mentally lay them in the radiant light of the Christ force in the mystic temple of silence 6, that they may receive a spiritual blessing. We will repeat each day for 1 week, all names sent us, at the end of which time they will no longer be mentioned unless by special request. All who ask this special help should make a determined effort to correlate with us at this hour and should report the experiences or results which follow. Long ere man passes his great initiation, he must consciously correlate his consciousness with those intelligent forces of nature brought to the earth at noon by the sun's direct rays, which Apollonius called genii, but which are known to the Hindus as the devas, and to the Christians as the principalities and powers in heavenly places, whose function it is to guide the forces of the one life into expression through the various planes of evolution, both in nature and in man. Each hour has its presiding genius or power, the genius of the 9th hour being concerned with gathering out of the 3 realms, nature, man, and God, all the forces which the one life has perfected, initiated, and with them laying a square foundation upon which a new and more perfect cycle, 10, can be erected. Hence, ere man can pass number 9, he must understand how, not only to harmonize with the forces of nature, but also how consciously to direct them. Thus will he work with the genius of the 9th hour. God works in a mysterious way his wonders to perform. It is a step towards this great achievement when we set aside a few moments each day at noon and try to gather the Christ force, which in nature is sun force, and to send it forth in blessing and healing to the world. If something of the reverence for initiation taught by Apollonius were inculcated in modern students, their spiritual unfoldment would be markedly quickened. So many today with irreverent tongues talk glibly of the many so-called initiations through which they have passed, while all the time their very garrulity and their lack of real understanding, power, and helpfulness proves to those who know the law that such boasters have never passed a major initiation. For since number 9 is the number of silence and creativeness, of working with nature forces, the initiate can always be recognized by his silent power. He never babbles, for he knows that in nature the babbling brook has no still depths in which the mystery of a new life can be brought forth. It also shows that such boasters have little understanding of what even a minor initiation signifies. Such claims lay their authors open to the suspicion that they have been deluded either by their own ambitions or have been deceived by astral impostors, or both, or that at best their experience was but the astral ceremony of a minor initiation which was to work out later on in the physical life. This illustrates the folly of such claimants trying to make a great impression on their hearers. The danger of boasting concerning such mighty experiences of divine realization is that the great law, under the guidance of the lords of karma, must make the claimant prove every assertion. The law as stated in the Bible is, "For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned." Street Matthew 12:37. Hence a babbler will soon find himself plunged into troubles and tests for which he is unprepared, and will perhaps wonder at his uncommon run of ill luck, as he may call it, coming at a time when, according to his flattering astral guides and the assurance of his ambition, he should be enjoying the fruits of his exceptional worthiness. Be humble, if thou wouldst attain to wisdom. Be humbler still, when wisdom thou hast mastered. It should be clearly understood that initiation occurs first in the higher realms and then gradually descends to manifest in the physical world, thus following the law of all manifestation. Having taken this step alone, apparently in the darkness, the pupil will be brought to the initiation which his demand will surely bring about. He will meet this initiation either unconsciously through natural worldly events, however, which he will have no difficulty in connecting with this great step, or consciously in the higher astral. The experiences met with at this period will not consist of a few great soul-stirring events, which when once past entitle him to admission, but will consist of events which will bring to him a repetition of experiences which will force him to face himself and bring to his consciousness every secret and open fault. Events which will force him to gaze into the eyes of the self that he has created out of the personality which his real self, or ego, has created to train and function through the self built up out of the thought forms he has created. There can be no dodging the issue or turning back from these events, for it is a mathematical law that he cannot pass on until he has acquired strength to conquer these faults, one by one, as they are presented to him. If he refuses, or is unable to conquer, his soul must wait and work in the lower orders until it grows stronger, and another cyclic opportunity for advance is afforded. The soul may experience and pass an initiation in the higher realms, 5th and 6th, of the astral world, and some realization of the event may be brought down into the waking consciousness in the form of a well-remembered dream or psychic experience. But it may be many years ere the initiation descends into manifestation and is worked out on the physical plane. For the same tests which the soul successfully passed in the higher realms are presented to the unsuspecting personality by life itself. Generally, the dream ends ere the final step is taken, leaving the dreamer uncertain of the end, because the end is not decided until by his own free will he has chosen to manifest it in his daily life. The consummation of the initiation on the physical plane is often pushed back and delayed, sometimes for a whole incarnation, by the refusal of the personality to follow the guidance of the higher self or by its refusal to face, recognize, and strive to conquer the events in life as they are presented to him day by the great initiator. All depends upon how the personality meets these tests. Life brings these tests upon the aspirant at his weakest points, but since he has already passed them in the higher realms, he has the strength and soul power to conquer them if he will allow that soul power to manifest through him. Let not him that girdeth on his harness boast himself as he that putteth it off. As illustrated in the case of Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, in the story referred to above, the very boasting brings the battle upon the aspirant long before it would have otherwise descended and before the intermediate steps have prepared him to meet it. But until the inner experience has really descended into the physical world and conditions analogous to those which the dream or vision symbolically outpictured have actualized into life problems, can he be said to have passed his tests? Such occurrences are not fables nor mere imagination, but actual life experiences. The candidate must meet them without being told that they pertain to his initiation, except as his own higher self endeavors to prepare his waking consciousness for the experiences which are to follow. In reality, all are warned and prepared interiorly, but alas, all do not remember or heed or attach due importance to such warnings. After the great initiation has been exemplified in the life, the victorious candidate will consciously meet his initiator face to face and receive the assurance that he has indeed been admitted into the brotherhood. In occult stories pertaining to initiation, that mystical experience is usually treated in an allegorical or symbolic manner. The candidate is made to pass through the most fantastic experiences and the most harrowing and gruesome trials of his courage, faith, and obedience. Such stories are purposely intended to stimulate the desire for initiation, yet are blinds which do not reveal to the profane any of its secrets. The candidate may pass such fantastic experiences in the astral world, but ere he is truly an initiate he must meet in real life that which they symbolize. Remember that true initiation gives real balance, real power, and real spiritual growth, which will manifest in the daily life.